Grawlix podcast. Sorry.
Wow, you were right on it.
We're gonna open the show just laughing at a thing that nobody knows.
It sounds like a boogeyman. Grawlix podcast. Hey, we're live. Oh man,
We are live.
Before we have any viewers on the video, I want to throw this out for podcast. Oh, we have a viewer. Hello. I want to throw this out real quick for future podcast. Hi, Jesse. For future podcast listeners. Sometimes these live episodes, I try to do a little bit of an edit, like the last one, which was, I thought, a pretty good episode. I actually put a little bit more time into a proper edit. This one probably won't be the case. I have a lot of work to do, so it'll be quick turnaround. So just a disclosure or a warning or whatever you want to call it. This will be pretty unedited. That's it. Okay. Hi, everybody. So here's what's on the agenda for me anyway. I don't know what you guys are doing. We got a bunch of news, and it's actually not all coronavirus news. There are a couple stories, but I made a point to search out. I mean, listen, we're all living in it, and I figured we'd try to not focus on it too much. Of course, if we talk about it a little bit, that's fine. It happens. But yeah, so mainly just kind of kick back and react to the news episode. That said, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing all right. Working from home now, and that's weird, but
Yeah.
it's an adjustment. But whatever. It's good to be back to doing something.
Sure.
I'm unemployed.
Yeah. We kind of have the well, no, I guess if we had the whole trifecta, I'd be like still having to go to work somewhere and be getting contaminated with germs all day. But
well, like your work is normal. My work is static but changed.
Mm-hmm.
And Melanie, yeah. So we kind of have.
Melanie didn't wake up till 5 p.m. So.
I mean, at least it's not like being unemployed to where like you lost your job and you need to find another one.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be staying at home. So like at least there's that little bit of guilt, because trust me, I've been there. There's that little bit of guilt you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've been all right. I've been entertained / irritated watching big YouTubers and network TV as they now broadcast from their houses, and seeing them struggle with trying to get good sound and a quality production.
Oh man,
I'm like, yeah, you don't have a corporation to back you. Welcome to the world of regular podcasting.
Right. Oh yeah, like was it Seth Meyer and Trevor Noah? They're like Seth Meyer in particular is like,
yes,
why are you doing this in your hallway?
The hallway video, you've seen it too.
Yeah, and he's like proud of it or whatever. I'm like, God, it sounds so bad.
It sounds so bad. And I'm like, dude,
sounds like you're in a hallway.
It's so Savannah, wait, does Melanie have coronavirus? No, I mean, not as far as we know, but no, she just doesn't have work.
There's no school, so
there's no school. I mean, I guess she could look for another job, but now doesn't seem like a good time. To look for another job.
You'll basically be able to work at a grocery store or a hospital, and those are the two places I don't know that you want to work right now.
Right.
I mean, they probably do need help, but it's not a good idea. And you don't have a medical background.
A little bit, no.
But yeah, I was watching that video. It's the Seth Meyer video, and it's so weird to see, like, it's got the official like NBC branding. They did all the post effects they would, like the little news window thing, but it's him in a hallway, and it sounds awful. And I'm just like, what am I busting what do I stress about? Mm-hmm. Why am I stressing when clients are like, can you get rid of this echo? Listen, look what NBC's doing.
Exactly.
National Broadcast Company.
Right.
No, it's fine.
But I mean,
Echo is fine.
They still have phones. Can't they just have like their sound people call people and be like, okay, don't do it in a bathroom or a hallway or, whatever.
I did watch another video of his, and he had moved, and he had mentioned something about they told him to get out of the hallway.
I was just saying, like, Trevor Noah's is is better than Seth Meyers was, that hallway one. But you can tell he's got echoes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird because like Trevor Noah's, I've only seen one of his videos, and maybe it was just a quick thing he did on his own, but it was like a phone deal, and you kind of like, I get it with when people just do the phone video or the little live phone thing, like I get it, but I mean, I know we're taking kind of a shortcut with that Streamlab or StreamYard.
Oh, sure,
thing.
yeah.
This makes things kind of easy, but come on, this isn't perfect, but
lapel mic, guys, it's easy.
There you go. It's cheap. Like, you telling me that NBC can't like run ship one over to you or something? Whatever. Right. Everybody's deal. It's not even. It's such a minor thing, and that's why I think like I got some enjoyment out of it, because you got to find it where you can.
Well, it's in your wheelhouse too, so
right.
Yeah.
Earlier tonight, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just clicked on it for a little bit. But one of my favorite channels is Funhouse, the ridiculous gaming comedy channel. But they've all got to stay at home, and they were doing their podcast. Normally they do their podcast in their studio, and like they're part of Rooster Teeth, which is part of, I don't know, Warner or somebody, maybe Disney, who knows? Disney owns everything. So technically they're kind of corporate, right? But they've got to do it from their home. So there's 4 of them, so they got the webcam set up, and the first several minutes was just them like they look wore out, but complaining and kind of struggling with technical issues and trying to get it right, and just like talking about like everything going wrong. And I'm like, dude, this is every week for us. What are you talking about? Come on, guys. But you know what? It does get frustrating. I say that.
I don't know how many times I've heard Randy be like, I didn't touch anything. Why is it different?
Right. I'm not talking a big game now, but I mean, even just a few weeks ago, before we hopped over to StreamYard, tried to get OBS and Skype to play nice. Mm-hmm. Paul says, you stay at home. Brandon, what's going on, Brandon? Paul, Savannah, everybody, thanks for watching. Brandon, as always, Grawlix #1 trending worldwide. I want to know what social network he's on, where we're always trending #1. I want to be there.
I love that network, and more people should use it, but not if we're not trending anymore. But yeah, I'm glad that Brandon chimed in, because we talked about I think we talked about it, the Netflix party. Or we at least shared it in the Netflix or the Grawlix group. And we tried it. And you had said that you had tried it before, but I'd never tried it before. But Brandon threw on Infinity War, and we at least watched the last hour of it with him, and that was pretty fun. And yet again, it's probably the best one. Fight me.
Oh, the best Marvel. It's definitely the best Avengers movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
With Civil War a close second, because Civil War is totally an Avengers movie.
Oh yeah.
Me and Randy been Netflix partying a lot.
We actually, Melanie and I have been quite a bit. What we'll do is we'll Netflix party just like that, with little chat window and stuff, mainly so Netflix stays in sync.
Yeah.
And then we'll fire up a video call on Messenger, and have that going, and we'll just watch some, eat up all the internet bandwidth. Just eat it all up.
I mean, why not?
Click everything over to HD and just suck it up.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not the same if you can't be like, what is wrong with her hair, and have them know what you're talking about. They have to be there to share the moment with you.
And I like to watch her. If we're watching something I've seen before, I like to see her reactions.
Oh yeah.
Like
well, and the sync is probably the coolest feature of that
right.
Chrome extension. Yeah.
Yeah, it's handy. So, I also want to mention real quick, this is a little bit of a promotional post or promotional pimpage, but Discord. So last week we were talking about don't be lonely if you're stuck at home. You can still chat people up, video chat and stuff. And I was like, hey, we got a Discord. So I got thinking. So I fired the Discord up. I've been in there off and on most of the day. I've been kind of posting random things in there in case people get lonely. Problem is, sitting in an empty Discord all day is pretty lonely. So,
oh yeah.
So it's kind of had the inverse effect. But the main thing is I mean, I know it's another place, like go watch us on Twitch, go over here, go to Patreon. But The main thing is they have a voice chat. Once you're, set up your account, it's pretty easy to connect to. And that way we could get like large groups of people just talking, or just have people in there randomly throughout the day if people are available and want to just kind of hang out and talk in the Grawlix voice chat. Yes.
Continue. Like what you're doing.
I was just going to say, and I made just today, I was like, hey, that super inconvenient invite link that I never remember what it is, I made a redirect for it. So if you go to grawlixpodcast.com/discord, it's DISCORD, Discord, invite link now, that'll take you there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say you should make a friend bot for Discord so that there's always a friend in there for everybody.
Somebody in there to that's actually, they have lots of bots that'll post like random meme bots and stuff like that. So
if we could get that machine learning like dungeon master to just like if they could speak and spell kind of thing, that way like all you'd have to do is be like say words and then it would have some kind of bizarre randomly generated response for you, like
right.
Like, shh, don't talk about it, that's a secret.
Right. Yes. Oh, that would actually be doing a little AI dungeon would be a kind of a fun activity in there.
Right.
I think Paul's going to bite somebody. He says, I'm bored enough. I just might bite you. Brandon also Eddie. Hey, Eddie, what's going on? Mean bots?
Mean bots.
Well, that's not what we want.
Friendly bots. Yay.
We could throw in one here or there once in a while,
just to start some stuff. We got to have internet trolls, so it'd be like
if it's too nice and you gotta throw some salt into the mix.
Something will pop up and be like, you don't know gits.
No, yeah, just randomly. You don't know gits about Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, Eddie says that's his nickname for Axton. Also,
right.
Brandon asked our thoughts on Wonder Woman, Batwoman, one of those women.
I really haven't watched a lot of it. I've seen a little bit of it because she's involved in the crossovers, and she was involved in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. So if you get a chance to watch that, she's in there, and she's not bad, but I don't know a lot about her actual show. So I think she looks the part. I think she does fine for a CW show, but I also don't watch the show, so I can't really have a fully formed opinion on it.
I don't watch the show, and I don't think I'm going to. And I don't think I like Batwoman as a character, because be your own thing. Stop trying to just use somebody else's shtick. I don't like it.
Paul likes it, I guess.
Well, he can like it if he wants to. It's his prerogative.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we need so many bat people.
Yeah, they have bat cows and bat dogs, and
right.
It's just too much.
All the bats.
Do you know what Batman actually means? Or where it came from? The word itself. Okay. A Batman was a servant to an I can't remember the rank, but in the British Army, it was a servant. It was a Batman. You're Batman, yeah.
Huh? Like a squire?
I guess, yeah. Usually, with somebody in the what is it? Where they ride horses? What's that called? Cavalry? No.
Yeah, cavalry.
Cavalry. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, it was usually one of those. Yeah. So Batman's a servant.
So really, Robin should be slapping Batman around in all those memes.
Mm-hmm. And then it's really weird because then Alfred is a servant to what should be a servant.
Oh.
Or maybe he's just Batman's Batman.
Should have took the red pill.
I want to be so rich that my servants have servants. Okay. I got like 15 minutes into it. I was like, oh yeah, I should share this and post this on the site and do things. Batwoman is a show I've been curious about. I've been curious to check it out. I do agree with Melanie, and I get that there's Batgirl and there's Batwoman. Actually, Batwoman is more lame given that there's a Batgirl, but Batman should be suing some people.
Couldn't they just give him a different name? Like Robin, he's not Batboy. Couldn't they just be like, you're Elephant Woman. I mean, just make something up,
Elephant Woman. I want to see Elephant Woman's costume. There probably is an Elephant Woman in some comic somewhere.
Well, there's Snout Spout in the He-Man comics, and so I wonder if there's like a female version of Snout Spout, and what would they call her? Like Snout Spout's a terrible name, anyways.
Yeah,
but
it is.
like what would the female version of a Snout Spout be?
I don't know what a male version of a snout would be.
It's a snout. It's like a double negative, but
Wait, what is it?
Super positive. Snout Spout.
Snout Spout.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It would be like Pac-Man. You just go Mrs. Snout Spout.
Yeah.
Mrs. Snoutfire.
Hey, I like that. Snoutfire. Yeah. Hose Rose is what Eddie says. Eddie says, Batman broods so much he goes full circle and explodes into unmitigated pure joy. That would be the opposite of what he's doing.
Sometimes he does seem a little bipolar, doesn't he?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Especially when he's Bruce Wayne. Like when he's Bruce Wayne, he just goes on a bender just to like keep up pretenses that he's this playboy that just does all the partying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, oh, what I really need to be doing is my mission.
Yeah.
He says it just like that too.
I feel like I could segue into news now, but I feel like this is more fun.
Talking about Batman and Snout Spout.
I mean, I'm so lost in this conversation, but it's more fun than what
I'm trying to think. Is it Hindu god? It's Ganesh. The god the elephant god that rides on a mouse.
Does it? I didn't know that it rode on a mouse. That's great.
Yeah, he rides on a mouse, and he is the god of the removal of obstacles, I believe. So Ganesh is pretty rad.
Yeah.
As far as like elephant people go.
Yeah. Because as far as Hindu gods go, know that the coolest one is the chick, with like the 4 arms and the head.
Shiva? Is that Shiva?
I believe it is, yes. She's
also the god of death. So,
yeah.
I mean, you're just not going to mess with her.
Death and birth. So.
That's true. That's true.
So she'll kill you, and then she'll be like, now I'm not going to have you be reborn. Haha.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's the one god you want to be on the right side of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead, since this is really going in weird places. Let's go ahead and
you're gonna rein us in now. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so here's the first bit of news because it's related to Batman, the Batman.
All right.
And let me pull up the screen here. Matt Reeves confirms the Batman's production has shut down. This is one of the very few COVID-19 related stories we're covering tonight. Most of them, I swear, are not related to that. Don't need to dwell. But this is totally it came from Twitter news story. It came from Twitter. Like one of the it came from outer space.
It came the Twitter from beneath the earth.
Excuse me. Director Matt Reeves tweeted that when asked, yes, we have shut down till it's safe for us all to resume. Everyone's safe for the moment. Thank you for asking, and stay safe too. So yeah, the Batman production has temporarily shut down. It's a very short story.
I mean, pretty much everything shut down. So it's hard to get like too excited about it one way or the other. Like they should continue. No, they shouldn't. No. I mean, how are you gonna film like a full-fledged Hollywood feature film on a like, well, in California, first of all, no. Mm-hmm. Like people aren't going outside to film anything, let alone Batman.
And it takes more than 10 people to shoot a scene, so
yeah,
right?
That's just
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised there was. I mean, I just assumed anything that's in production right now, at least big studio productions, are done for the moment. Oh my god.
No,
Okay.
Paul.
Paul says, OMG, it's full circle. COVID started with a bat. Now it killed the bat.
Too soon. Hashtag too soon.
I mean, it's like if we're still in the middle of a thing, I think it's always too soon. But
That's true. That's true.
Or is it too soon for the Batman movie? That's what it is. That's the sad thing here.
No.
You know, it's not dead. I'm sure they've got so much money invested in that. It's just they're waiting. I do want to use that to kind of segue over to the two more recent stories I have highlighted, and the two that got me more excited, because a lot of the other stories are like, even Wendy's has joined the call to release the Snyder cut of Justice League. We'll hold off on that one.
Of course she has.
We'll hold off on that one.
I'm excited about this story now.
Okay, first,
Wendy's Twitter is a treasure, a national treasure.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Corporate, what? It's so strange. But we'll hold off on that because that'll be a potentially fun conversation. DC's The Flash movie release date and cast announced, but this is according to Showbiz Cheat Sheet or cheatsheet.com. I don't know this website, but Google kept putting it at me, so let's see. So I'm just catching up on comments.
Did they pay Google to do that? People are like, pop me up first.
I mean, technically, I doubt it because Google has lots of money, but maybe. I mean, it's possible. They have some weird. I think it's all algorithm, really.
Okay.
I think AdWords works that way a little bit.
Oh yeah. This site spends a lot of money with us to advertise. Maybe we'll throw them a bone and bump them up on the regular results too. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So anyway, the Flash movie, whatever, it's something that, you know, since before Justice League, people are like, yeah, okay, there's gonna be a Flash movie, and then Justice League happened, and everything was pretty much like, what's going on?
Just like they're like, I don't know what to do.
Right. And apparently, though, it's still on. Ezra Miller, who was the Flash in Justice League and that little bit in Batman v Superman,
and that little bit in Crisis.
That little bit in on CW's DC universe. He'll be this Flash. They're still sticking with him. And let's see. I'm sorry.
Paul's dropping some Grawlix in the chat over here.
Whatever they say, it will be a lie. We will never get a Flash movie. And he got to use the little Grawlix face emoji. I love that emoji.
Grawlix emoji, yeah.
I always forget to use it. I mean, it's not ours, but it's got a Grawlix in it, so it's ours now.
Yeah, so it's branding right there.
Okay, so Kiersey Clemens, I don't know who this is, so I'll do a little Google search and let's get some screen share action going on. I tried to find, and maybe it's been picked up by other sites. I mentioned the website specifically because I tried to find this confirmed other places, and this was the only site that was running this story. Iris West. She's cast as Iris West.
Huh.
Okay.
I think the scene got cut, but was she who was Iris West in the original Justice League movie? Because
was there an Iris West in there?
There was in a cut scene.
Oh.
I would know.
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, she was the one whose scenes were deleted.
So she was always Iris?
She was always Iris.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that she's still Iris, because that would have been kind of shady for them to just like cut her completely.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This story. Okay. The rest of the cast has not been confirmed. When your headline is release date and cast announced, how is okay? Ezra Miller, sure. I guess that's a shock announcement, but like. Also, was there actually a release date in this article? Okay, it's still scheduled to hit July 1st, 2022.
Which could change dramatically.
Yeah. Dates for everything is changing dramatically right now.
Showbiz, she I'm disappointed in this website I've only heard of the first time today. Oh, Paul picked up on an unintentional pun. Nobody is running the Flash story.
Go up.
Maybe it just ran so fast I didn't see it. All right. I'm sorry, everybody. All three of you. That story fell kind of flat. You know what story? And admittedly, this is a little light on details. You know what story doesn't fall flat for me anyway?
Wendy.
Boom. George Miller eyes Mad Max Furiosa film for 2021. Has met with it's Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya. Thank you. I'm terrible with names. Okay. So yeah, anyway, George Miller directed all the Mad Max movies, all of them, including Fury Road. And there was, that's been like something they've been, or at least he's been talking about for a long time. He wanted to do a Furiosa spinoff specifically, but it sounds like that's still in development. It's actually kind of in pre-production. And according to this article, he has been meeting with people with prospect. Wait, what's that word?
Perspective?
Cast? Potential cast, whatever. Including this person. Although what's her name is probably still attached as Furiosa because Charlize Theron. But he's been doing it via Skype and stuff, so because that's how people got to do everything now.
She's African.
But apparently part of the reason it took so long to get any like another Mad Max film rolling after Fury Road was apparently, I didn't know this, that there was a lawsuit between Miller's production company and Warner Brothers because the production company claimed it was eligible for $9 million after it delivered the movie under the agreed budget, which was $157 million. And Warner Brothers said that the company broke the contract because the film's because they wanted a PG-13 film under 100 minutes, and what they got was a 120-minute R-rated film. So whatever. That's a lame entertainment industry lawsuit.
Yeah.
I mean, I say lame. It's like $9 million, but whatever. It's like chump change.
In the movie industry, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it looks like this will be potentially coming up. So he is supposed to be working on a movie called 3,000 Years of Longing. That sounds like it'll be uplifting. 3,000 years of longing. I mean,
when you think about a Mad Max universe story, are you looking for like a feel-good go-home movie?
I mean, I guess not, but
I mean, nothing about Fury Road says, you know what?
They went home though.
I think we're all going to learn a little something about ourselves today.
I learned lots of things.
I learned I love car chases, surprisingly. And I want a guitar that shoots flames. I don't even know how to play guitar.
Right. I want a guitar that shoots flames.
I want to learn how to walk on stilts through swamps.
Right?
Yeah.
Fury Road was so good. What a surprise that movie was.
It was my favorite movie of the year, I think. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, the Mad Max films they're classic, they're entertaining, they're a little goofy. And they're fairly well made. The first one was super low budget and a little rough. The third one was not, in my opinion, honestly, like it's very memorable. That's where the whole Thunderdome thing came from. Right. It's not great. There's obvious studio interference, so it's compromised. But Fury Road is like a perfect action movie. It is amazing. Okay. I just want to talk about that, and I'm excited that they're actually actively working towards
So I'm watching the feed, and what's interesting is, first of all, we always knew there was a delay between what we see on StreamYard and what they see, right? Because you can tell in how late the comments come. But tonight we have a really pretty accurate transcription happening on the screen at the same time. So I can actually, like, without listening to it, I can actually tell what they are seeing and how delayed it is. Because right now, it's just now talking about how Fury Road is a perfect movie and how you just want to talk about that.
There's like a weird closed caption going on, huh?
Yeah. And it's awesome and it's good and it's really accurate. And I haven't noticed it mess up yet. And I'm wondering how. Is that on Facebook's end?
That's gotta be Facebook's end. There's like no. I would think if it was on StreamYard's end that we'd see it.
Right.
Well, let's mess it up. Blah, 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 banana pants.
I can't wait till it gets there. I'm just gonna watch it for the next 2. No, we shouldn't do that, but I'm gonna be peeking. I want to know what.
Oh, it already did it for me.
Oh, did it?
Okay, let's not talk about this. This is boring for them. Let's move on to something not that.
Okay. Well, let's get to the main event.
Yeah.
The main attraction. Even Wendy's has joined the call to release the Snyder Cut of Justice League. This story is such a ridiculous story, but it's fun because that's when we cover it. It's when it just
it just jumped over all your blah, 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 and went straight to banana pants. And this thing is smart.
That my blah, 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 blah was important to the message. Mad Max Ferry Road.
What? Ferry Road?
Savannah is pointing out there are some errors in the transcription, apparently.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not watching it like religiously.
And
every time I check,
serum.
I'm like, wow, that's really pretty good.
I got an illness. I need some of that Charlie's serum.
Put it right into my vein.
All right. So anyway, yeah, I mean, Wendy's tweeted like, yeah, Wendy's, the fast food burger chain, has one of those ridiculous corporate Twitter accounts that's very, it's very modern.
Sassy.
It's sassy, yes. But they tweeted hashtag release the Snyder Cut. But to be fair, it was in response to somebody who said, Wendy, please say and reply hashtag release the Snyder Cut. So it wasn't out of nowhere.
Oh.
Right.
But I think, wait, can you go back over a second? Okay, never mind. I was thinking Max Storm was like something more official than it is.
Usually Wendy, the Wendy's Twitter feed has like a lot snarkier response than just doing what they say.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, maybe
I was super excited about that. I was like, what'd she do?
Well, that's why it's such a thing, because they're like, wow, it wasn't even,
It wasn't even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually it throws some pretty serious shade.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a conflicting, it makes me feel like so conflicted, because I appreciate, because I mean, for decades and for like most of our lives growing up, and until recently, advertisements from big corporations it's always so safe.
Totally tone deaf. Yep.
So safe. And when it's not, it is 100% tone deaf. When they do try to step outside of their comfort zone, it's into a mess of just, I think of that, was it Pepsi commercial or whatever, when
probably
with the protests trying to capitalize on that whole thing, when they do step out, it's into a pile of dog do, like,
right.
But then to see like Wendy's, I can't think of some of the other, but there's several corporate accounts that are like this, that actually kind of nail it.
Like the dictionary one is awesome too. Like the dictionary one likes to throw some shade and just like give you the dictionary definition of a word that someone totally messed up. Didn't they come up with like a dictionary definition for covfefe or whatever when that was a thing?
Did they? I don't know.
I mean, like they're so good at that. Like, actually, the definition is this.
I mean, I guess I can appreciate it on so it is weird, but I can appreciate it on a level. It's like, well, they've got some pretty smart and funny people running those accounts.
Right.
It's still, I mean, it is a faceless corporation, but there's still people behind there coming up with some pretty clever things to do.
Right.
And it's impressive that a company will let them run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In an authentic way, like authentic to the
Right.
platform. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's wrong, man, it's so bad. It's cringeworthy. It's like face palm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was it? Well, you know, what's his name? Politician guy that was latched onto the Netflix and chill. Come Netflix and chill with who was it? It was the one
like
guy.
Ted Cruz. God,
Ted
that would be
Cruz.
weird.
Netflix
Did he
and
really?
chill with-
Oh my
Yeah.
God. He should
Yeah.
know better. Like, that's the creepiest possible thing he could say.
Yes.
And he's pretty creepy without trying.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's effortless for him. That
It's
level of
just
creep.
in his DNA. He's genetically gifted.
So when companies most companies, politicians, you know, when they try,
Oh, like when Hillary Clinton classically was like, now if we could just figure out how to get them to Pokemon go to the polls. It's like, oh,
I don't think
God.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Oh,
no.
yeah. No.
That's bad.
She was trying to be hip. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Hillary Hillary had there's a lot of cringe with her for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's true.
Paul asked, did we cover Rosario Dawson news in the last episode? We did talk about her recently, but I can't even remember the context now. She's in a new show or something. I know that.
Yeah, she's attached for something big, and I can't place it. Tell us, Paul. 2 minutes later, you'll tell us
I'll
because
do a little search.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any news.
I remember it was a pretty big deal, but I'm blanking on it now.
Oh,
because it's important now.
it was The Mandalorian. She's casting.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's a big deal. None of us have watched that show.
I watched one episode.
I've seen one episode too.
Yeah.
Good.
Which
So,
episode was it? The
Oh, it's the first episode. So
I think I seen this. Which one did we? The second or third episode?
with the IG-88 thing where they'd be like shoot down robots.
No.
No,
Ours was like fighting a big walrus monster.
I think it was the first episode after he got Baby Yoda.
Walrus monsters. We've talked about elephants and walrus. It's all tusk all the time tonight. It's the Grawlix podcast, Tuskasode.
And it had a hairy egg. Ugh, that was gross.
Oh yeah, the hairy egg was gross. Paul says, yeah, Mandalorian too.
I want to see that, but I haven't. I haven't dived in yet. Actually, I'm further into Picard than I am into Mandalorian, and I'm loving Picard. I'm loving it. It's incredible.
I loved way more than I expected. I loved that one episode of Mandalorian that I watched, but I think I talked about
we're not giving Disney any more money.
Right, Disney, you've got enough money.
That's true. Yeah, they don't need any more. Although the Jeff
Disney needs your
Goldblum,
money.
I watched an episode of the Jeff Goldblum series too, and the first episode is about sneakers. I loved that episode more than I should have. Like, I don't care about sneakers, but Jeff Goldblum getting custom sneakers made for himself and just deep diving into the history of sneaker culture was fascinating.
Is that on like Hulu or something?
That's on Disney Plus as well.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
They stole Goldblum.
I know.
I'm. What is the show about? Is it just him doing things?
I think so. Like, I think every episode
that.
is just him. Yeah, because like episode 2, which I really would love to watch too, is about ice cream. And so, like, I could just imagine Jeff Goldblum experiencing ice cream over and over. Has got to be awesome.
Is it like he teaches you a lesson about sneakers and ice cream? Is it like a Sesame Street type thing? Like
a little bit. Like, he goes back into the whole backstory of sneakers, and like the first pair of sneakers were done by a certain company or whatever, and he just kind of does a weird deep dive into sneaker culture. Like, he goes to Sneaker Con and he's so Jeff Goldblum about it. Like, there's almost like this, like almost like sneaker mob type of deal going down, and he's just over there being super awkward about it. He's like, "Don't look, but you can see behind me that it's going down, and I imagine that it goes a little bit like this." And he like improvs a little scene between them, and then he's like, "All right, I'm going in. Let's see. Did we come to an agreement?" Like he's just very Goldblum about it.
It sounds amazing.
It was so good. It was way more entertaining. It's basically just a documentary series, but it's Jeff Goldblum as the host, so it's amazing.
Oh man, good. What a genius idea.
Paul, you're kind of right. We are lame because we don't want to give Disney our money, and we don't want to experience these great things because we don't want to give them any more money.
And you know why we don't? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You know why we don't want to give them any more money?
Because they have it all.
Because
anyway.
they change our beloved films like Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, wow. That is a segue.
Yes, Disney apparently edited a Lilo and Stitch scene and fans are freaking. I mean,
What?
are they freaking?
What
I don't know. Maybe
I don't remember. What?
Okay. Let's play
This is actual news to me.
Let's play a little. It's one of those things. It's like spot the difference between the two pictures.
Okay, so she was in an oven wet in the original one, or what?
Okay, so they changed. At one point, Stitch is like hiding or something, and he jumps into a dryer.
Yeah.
Originally, well, they changed it so he jumps into. I mean, it's a pretty janky like change, but he jumps into like it's just like a cupboard with a pizza box that covers the hole, so it's still like dryer shaped with a lid, but it's a pizza box.
What a weird change. Why? Because it's dangerous for kids to go hide in the dryer.
I mean, that's exactly it. Like, yeah.
Okay, but everything about Stitch is dangerous for kids.
A slight hot take. I actually don't have a problem with this. My problem is just that, like, so they just don't have a dryer now. Like, who puts just a washer next to like a cupboard? There's no dryer in the room.
No. I have issue with this because okay, first of all, a cupboard with a pizza box in front of it makes no sense. So you know what I see when I see that? That's a dryer. Okay, so that's just a stupid, pointless reason to put that there. There's no reason for it to be there at all.
Just reanimate the whole scene if you're gonna go to the trouble.
Well, I mean, you might as well just overdub it with McClunky while you're at it. Just add some dialogue that never.
The article mentioned that too early, of course.
Oh, I'm sure I had to because this is another example of it. But all the racist Mickey cartoons are fine.
They mentioned. I think they even mentioned. What was it? Usually, like the Mouse House does this intentionally for a specific reason. But yeah. Anyway. No, it is because it is dangerous for kids to get in dryers, and I get it. I find it with as recent as because we're not talking about a movie made in the 60s or the 50s. Like Lilo and Stitch is fairly recent, and anybody younger than me is like, "What? You're old." Right. Oh God, what year did that come out? Actually, it was post 2000, right?
It's only not safe to be in dryers if they're on.
Well, if you get locked in there, it's probably not good.
It's also only not safe for kids to drive a car if the car's on, but you still don't want them driving cars.
Right. I mean, there's all sorts of things that kids do that are safe, like climb trees, but we don't change movies because trees are things you can fall out of.
Yeah.
Interesting. So people are upset. I was just like, okay, I get it. It makes sense to me. It's fine. It's lame. I think it's super funny because the pizza box as the like lid, it doesn't make sense. It's
I was
so
just
goofy.
saying, like looking at how small this thumbnail is on my screen, it looks like a pizza oven, which is actually worse.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Well, good. We got. Yeah. Oh, and Paul even said that pizza oven. Yep. We got more. That story had more legs than I expected. Okay. Here's another story. We're down to the like. with Saturday Night Live at the end of the show, like the skits kind of like as the show goes, the skits get progressively lamer and lamer, and there's always a couple that get cut for time. They put the bad ones at the end just in case.
Right.
That's how we do.
We're to that point in the story, so
sometimes that actually gets us fired up, though.
that's true. Poster for the original The Invisible Man film sells for over $180,000 at an auction. So, yeah.
Wow.
So this is the original. Oh, okay.
The original Invisible Man.
All right.
Doesn't really seem like that much.
I mean, yeah, assuming it's like an original print, a poster printed back in the day. Yeah, I'm surprised because, well, what's this say? Oh, well, movies like, what's it say? Posters for like Casablanca, 1931's Frankenstein, Border Town, and the highly controversial The Jazz Singer. Was that highly controversial? It was like the first talkie, man.
So were these posters like lithographs? Because I know like different printing, like different types of poster prints.
Mm-hmm.
Process that could change it because that would make it like a more limited run type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's like, I mean, you scan a thing and you can get a replica of it, which doesn't make the original worth less because it's still an original printing. But
yeah,
what's sort of a lot is when they used to do like they'd carve something and then they'd make all of the copies off of that carving or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Those are worth a lot.
Right. So like a wood block print type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
This article on comingsoon.net actually doesn't really have that much information about the poster. Just that it was a rare poster for the 1933 version of The Invisible Man. Yeah. So it didn't pull in as much because some of the posters can clear $2 million, but apparently this was a big success for the people that were auctioning it off. So yeah.
It's a cool poster.
Oh yeah, it's classic.
I dig it. Yeah.
Yep. That's that story. And then finally I don't have a whole lot here, but I thought maybe this would spur some Paul says that belongs on my wall. Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's definitely a classic poster. $185,000. You could have had it. Okay. NASA astronaut looks back at gravity, says it's harmful for girls who want to go to space. I was like, this might start some things. So I did read through this article. This is on IndieWire.com. But they're reporting on basically a video that Vanity Fair put out. It was like an interview with this guy talking about it. And this guy in question, by the way, is Chris Hadfield, astronaut. Is he the guy? He's not the guy that did all. Is he the guy that? Which astronaut would do all the like YouTube videos and stuff?
Was that Buzz Aldrin?
No, it was a more modern guy.
Oh, I don't know.
But like when he was out in space. Anyway.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what?
Okay.
Why? What?
So first off,
point?
He had a criticisms with the movie, with like the physics of things, and of course he's an actual astronaut, so he's like, this isn't right, and this and that. Let's get to the thing that everybody wants to chew on because it's social justice time.
It's
the social justice
time for justice. Social justice.
Social justice.
No one's ever said it like that.
Oh,
ever.
I know they have. Oh gosh. Okay. About 1,000 like angry white comics fans, white dudes, their ears just tinged, pickled somewhere.
Yeah. It's like the Force. It's like it's like A New Hope. It's like it's as if a bunch of voices cried out and then were suddenly silenced.
I kind of like his. I've been reading it. Because basically what it sounds like he's saying is you're not going to become an astronaut if you can't figure stuff out, stay calm, rely on yourself, all that kind of stuff. And that her character didn't really do that. So that makes sense to me. That all makes sense to me.
All right. According to IndieWire.com, the movie's depiction of Bullock's character, Dr. Ryan Stone, is unforgivable. Hayden says, quote, according to him, of course, Hayden says, quote, the most experienced astronaut in American history is a woman. It's Peggy Whitson.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, Sandra Bullock has only been an astronaut for less than a year. When she's faced with a problem, she's panicking and has no idea what to do. George Clooney is driving around like some sort of space cowboy, and he's the only one who has any idea what's going on. I think it set back a little girl's vision. I think it set back a little girl's vision of what a woman astronaut can be an entire generation. That was awkwardly phrased. But he went on to say Sandra Bullock did a great job portraying the character. But the way that the characters wrote is disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense that she didn't have the agency and wasn't as capable as she should have been if she were an astronaut.
Right. Because even if you, a little earlier on in the story, it was saying people kept calling into Houston and asking them for permission to do this and that. And he's like, that's not how it goes. If you know it needs to be done, you just do it.
Yeah. The movie Gravity, Paul, did I not say? It's possible I didn't say. I thought I did, but yeah, we're talking about the movie Gravity.
Mm-hmm. Which was really cool looking. If you saw it in 3D, it was super great.
That's one of the very few movies I've gone to see in 3D, and it was worth it. Yeah, he said, don't just make it the perils of this woman, and she needs George Clooney to magically save the day and tell her what book to open to do the right thing. Okay. Yeah, I get it. I get his point. Also, it's probably one of those things where that was like one of many kind of criticisms he had of the movie, but of course that's the one that gets the headline. That's the one that gets our attention.
Yeah,
right.
That's the one that we throw out there like bait. Like,
yeah, we're like,
you gonna bite? You gonna bite?
We don't want real physics in our movies. Come on.
Right, like the physics thing. That doesn't surprise me at all. The only other thing I had is there's a trailer for a movie called The Wretched.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the trailer. It's a horror movie. I do have a little bit before we kind of get into our little bit of talk about the trailer. So it's a horror movie. It is. Hold on, real quick. Directed by
Independent Film Channel. I didn't realize they were making like movies for the big screen.
Yeah, IFC. Yeah, it's an IFC Midnight thing.
Oh, okay. So they've got their own production company.
Yeah, kind of their like genre production company, horror movies and stuff. Directed by Drew and Brett Pierce, based on a script by Drew Pierce. Best known for their zombie cult hit Deadheads, which I feel like we've seen.
I feel like I made us see that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's called Deadheads.
And Drew has been an animator and storyboard artist on Futurama, The Interview, and The Happy Time Murders.
Oh, I like puppets, but that was a movie that shouldn't have been made.
Okay, yeah, I'm not.
I don't even know what it is, but just from that reaction, I don't think I wanted to watch it anyway.
And Brett has been involved in the development department on various reality series for Netflix, History Channel, and A&E. Well, reality show. I don't know. That's probably good for him though, because in the industries like that makes money. They're like, okay, here, make a horror movie, I guess. And it is set to hit select theaters and video on demand and digital platforms May 1st. So basically, here's the summary, I guess. A malevolent spirit from the woods has taken a hold of of these parents of some people and starts playing a sinister game of house, preying upon the children and wiping away any trace of their existence. We don't have to go too far into it. What do you guys think of this trailer?
It was interesting. It reminded me of was it Witches? The comic that we Red was Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Scott Snyder? Am I getting that wrong? Yeah, Scott Snyder.
You're right.
I'm like, did we just talk about Zack Snyder? Yeah.
Release the Witches cut. Release Witches 2. I don't think the second volume of
No,
that.
yeah.
I know this is really dumb, but it also made me think of like an Ernest movie where there were some trolls or something going in and they take little kids and then mush them into this tree.
Was that Scared Stupid? Because I don't think I seen that one. That's the one I don't think. Well, no. Also the Africa one I didn't see.
I don't know, but it made me think of that. Oh, and The Guardian, whatever. Yeah, they did that. It reminds me of several movies that I've seen, but we haven't seen one like it in a while. So,
yeah, Paul, you're right.
Paul said, "When Jesse Kiefer downs puppets, you know it's crap."
I'm very disappointed. I actually saw some of the trailers and thought, oh man, this could be funny if they did it right. And then I heard nothing but awful reviews, and the more clips that they put out, the less I wanted to see it. And that's not how it's supposed to work.
As Savannah said, yeah, that was Scared Stupid, Melanie. Ernest.
Yeah.
Jasper, hey, what's going on? What's going on, Chicken Tights? That's not what I usually call him, but I can't say what I usually call him. It's close.
What up, Chicken Tights? I like it.
I like it too. That's going to catch on.
Hashtag Chicken Tights.
That's the name of the episode, Chicken Tights. What up, Chicken Tights? Yeah, no, this looked interesting. It's, there's a lot of horror movies that come out, and the look of this initially is like, okay, it looks like a horror movie, but there's a lot of like generic horror movies that come out, and you can kind of Blumhouse, I get they're making a lot of money, but man, they pump a lot of kind of generic ones out.
mm-hmm.
But this actually intrigued me. It looked interesting. It looked a little bit like it had a little bit more going on than just your usual you know what that word is. It's chicken tights. There's no other word that it could be. It looked like it had a little bit more going on, or at least a more interesting premise than a lot of kind of generic horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's either, I don't know, like it's either stripped down and simple enough, or there's a lot more going on there than I expected, because it's like a little bit of a body snatchers possession type of angle, plus like almost like where are they called now? The silence, like you totally forget, like why doesn't he remember his own son?
Witches is actually super apt, huh? Witches is a pretty good comparison, at least compared to like going by what we've seen in the trailer.
Yeah,
I also kind of like that it's almost its own genre, like I don't know, the woods folky folk demon or something like that, where it's like weird natural tree demons or something. I don't know, but it's got some creature crawling out of a deer carcass and just weirdness.
Yeah. And the little boy's just like, there's something wrong with mom's acting weird, and dad's like, she's always been weird, but it's like, she's got her head up in a deer neck.
Was she always that weird? Head up in the deer neck. Oh.
Speaking of like horror movies that kind of get rehashed, Paul, I'm going to just throw a little bit of pimpage out there on Moose's Monster Mash. Just recently put up an episode about the Leprechaun movies, where he had a special guest of Maddie D. So
really?
if you're interested in that, you should check that out for sure, because Leprechauns, it's still March. It's timely.
And a certain gnome makes an appearance if they're talking about a leprechaun. Right. Jesse's favorite.
I was gonna listen to the episode, and now I'm thinking about I'll listen to the episode. I'll listen to the episode. Jerry, you're worming your way into my heart somehow. It's weird.
Paul says, in reference to having your head up in a deer's neck, it's better than having your head up in a deer's butt.
That's fair.
You don't know though. Fair. Do you know?
I mean, really, yeah. I hope not. That's weird. That's weird.
Rock it until you rock it. Why am I arguing for putting your head in a deer's butt?
I don't know.
This show It's gone downhill. And we're up to 6. Oh man. Hey.
Just in time.
Welcome to Grawlix. We talk about chicken tights and deer butts.
Thursday night chicken tight.
Oh, man. You be careful with that. It'll catch on.
I hope not.
That's all I've got for everything. That's just all.
that's all I ever had.
I so don't want to end it on there. Oh man. Remember everybody, we got a Discord thing going on. So if you're bored, check it out. I've been trying to post, I've been posting a lot of news stories and stuff in the Grawlix Facebook group, but I also been posting them on Discord, including anytime I come across Shudder has a promo going for they extended their free trial for a month or something like that. I've been posting that on the Discord too. So if you're looking for stuff to watch,
there's lots of sites that have free stuff right now for kids for learning or whatever, but learn too. So go on those things and learn stuff for free. Can you have kids?
I've noticed several things like learning, and editing the kind of podcasts I do for work. It's a lot of kind of professional oriented stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one bit of advice they keep giving out is if you've got free time, you can enjoy some video games or binge on some Netflix, but also it's maybe not a bad time to improve yourself, learn some stuff.
Right.
Oh, before we really sign off, I want to say, so last week, one of Melanie's, last week we talked about what to watch while you're stuck at home. And one of Melanie's picks that we kind of talked about a little bit because none of us really knew anything about it was Freaks. It was a movie on Netflix. And Melanie and I watched it, and that might have been the most Grawlixy pick of all our lists.
Yeah, it was good.
And I was I don't know. I didn't know anything about it. And all we knew it was kind of maybe a horror movie, although it seemed it's more like supernatural thriller, maybe. You think, Melanie?
I wouldn't say supernatural because supernatural makes me think of
science fiction.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The problem is it's got a mystery element to it. And I don't want to spoil it because that's kind of a big part of the movie, but it is right up Grawlix's alley. It's something we could talk about on a future episode, maybe. But it was an entertaining movie.
What's that?
God darn it. It's a hard movie to talk about because I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
it is Grawlix appropriate.
See, I did good. Yay.
Yeah. Just wanted to mention that. Freaks on Netflix. It's pretty new.
Yeah, it is. And the little girl's so cute too.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a good mad face.
Are you sold? Grawlix Science Theater on Discord. It will catch on. I like that. Yeah. Well, I have to do some. Might have to do some
Grawlix Science. I like that.
Might have to do some watch parties on the Discord if people want to move over there at some point. In the future, not tonight, but because we could do a live stream and I could probably stream any video I wanted, and then we can have a voice chat to where everybody can actually jump in and we can watch something and chat about it. Have an actual watch party instead of the text deal that Facebook calls a watch party.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. But can I ask you real quick? So because of the staying home and whatever, I've been trying to do science experiments with my nieces because, somewhat schooly type stuff because they're not really doing anything right now, but whatever they want. And that's not good. So last night we made a volcano and I was going to do the tornado in a bottle thing. Anybody have any suggestions of any science experiments that are fun that we could do? Or it doesn't have to be science. It can be anything, but I like science, and then you can teach yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything sciencey. I know there's a lot of art project streams happening right now. I've been sharing Cassie Stevens. She's been doing she did a week of robot art projects, and then this week is actually mad scientists or zany scientists, and so that's, I don't know, that's slightly related, I guess.
Art and science go hand in hand because, like, look, we had to make a paper mache volcano to be able to explode things. So
Fair enough.
And I made a little house and some trees to put on the side because that's how you do. But
Savannah says
mentors.
Man, you know what? Perfect.
Mentors and Diet Coke. Mentos.
I prefer Mentors and a Coke Zero personally.
Egg in a bottle. Yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't know how to do it.
I like manitors. Wait, was that the word?
Manicores?
Manicorns.
Oh,
And
you better believe it.
Paul says egg in a bottle. I'll send you some science links. Savannah also says eggs and vinegar overnight.
Yeah.
Pickled
Show
egg.
them that video of that guy doing stuff with energy drinks that was like really bizarre and makes you never want to drink an energy drink again.
No, we don't need that. I've been drinking soda this whole night. What are you talking about?
I just cracked one, so there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're drinking a Pepsi or Coke. That's way better too.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I've never seen videos of them dissolving money and teeth in that stuff.
You know, why are my teeth so sensitive all of a sudden? It's
Right.
Weird.
Anything you guys got anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this up?
I think we did it. Thursday night chicken tight.
Yeah. Melanie, is there anything, have you discovered anything this week that people should be amazed about?
I'm trying to think now. I'm sure I have.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I always mean to message you earlier in the day to remind you, but I forget.
Are we developing an immunity? I saw an article on that.
I don't know, but I hope so because they were saying that they're going to send home tests to people here, and if they have antibodies, they're going to send them back to work.
Oh, that would be fascinating. I mean, that'd be awesome. I hope that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul has a suggestion, Melanie. Paper airplane distance contest.
That's fun.
It's like aerodynamics.
Yeah, do that at home and
That's
never do that at school again.
Stuff.
I've got kids every week. They would come in and they would get their artwork done really fast. And they'd be like, "Can I free draw?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can free draw." And then what do? They take the piece of paper and fold it up into an airplane. I'm like, "That's not a drawing."
I can you can try different types of airplanes and which one flies better because there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
That paper airplanes you can make me.
Paul says murder rates haven't risen. Is that a thing that people were they supposed to rise? I'd never whatever. I guess I'm not a murderer, so I just don't get it. But I didn't expect them to rise, but I guess it kind of makes sense if people are like out of work but then again, like the few times I do feel a little edgy is when I'm in a crowded public place and that's not a whole lot of that going on. So maybe that could be the explanation, right? That's why everybody murders somebody because they're in their way in the aisles of Costco or something.
Oh my God, did you cough on me? Why are you even out? Why am I even out?
Why is everything closing earlier and earlier and earlier and they don't tell you? So you go to get dog food and you end up going to like 4 different places where you finally get somewhere and then they're like, "I'll give you 10 minutes." And you're like, "Ah."
Paul says because we're stuck with our families. Okay, I get it. He's doing The Shining again. We need to watch Paul. we just need to check in on him. Make sure he hasn't.
All work and no play makes Paul a dull boy.
Make sure he hasn't corrected anyone yet. And side note, Melanie, Savannah says, "Bring the girls over this weekend and we'll make art."
Okay.
We'll make art.
And it'll be a gathering of less than 10. So
Acting sucker.
Oh man, what's David Harbour doing? Is he okay? Where's he at?
Somebody needs to check on David Harbour.
Somebody check on David Harbour, please.
If you want an uplifting story, I don't remember all of it, but there was a 101-year-old that caught the virus or whatever, and he went home today.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I know.
Get some of his antibodies.
Well, he survived the Spanish flu back in the whatever 18 or something. I think too.
Holy moly! Yeah, get his antibodies for everything.
Right?
His antibodies for death.
Take his DNA. Yeah, wow.
He cracked the code.
Paul said they said no play dates.
Well,
All work and no play. Dates.
All right. That's it. That's all we got. This was a good time. I liked it.
We did it.
you don't say that very convincingly.
Yeah, I did. It was good.
It was a very fun time.
I'm honestly a little surprised we stretched a full hour out of those stories. I mean, there were several, but man, some of those were some nothing stories.
Right.
But yeah. All right. And thanks everybody for watching and listening now and in the future. And if you want to what was that?
I said and commenting.
For sure.
Yeah. We had pretty steady comments from the beginning. Much appreciated. It's much more fun when you do that.
Yeah, the comments really drive the live shows. That's makes these a lot more fun for sure. Even if like I'm oblivious to half of them.
Right.
All right. Hey, if you want to find more, check us out on Facebook. We've been doing these pretty much every week. We can't guarantee we'll do them every week, but if we do, it's usually on a Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. And if you want, go to grawlixpodcast.com. It's GRAWLIX podcast.com. You can hear all our regular episodes. You can hear the Grawlix Cinematic Universe episodes. And you can also watch the most recent live video without having to be on Facebook over there. That's for the Matt D's of the world who are not on Facebook. And that's all I got. Oh, hey, check out Grind Bin Podcast. I was just on their most recent episode. That's like
you just recorded a thing yesterday, right?
Okay,
you got a few things to pimp, right?
Grind Bin and Covert Nerd. If those are my secondary homes. So the Grind Bin Podcast is out, in which I joined them to talk about an insane movie from the 70s about, it was Centerfold Girls, I think, but it was about the serial killer, where basically the serial killer was kind of the least horrifying person in the entire universe of this movie. So much sleaze. Everyone was awful in this movie. Super interesting conversation. I love being on that show. That was like a fourth or fifth time I've been on there, maybe. And then I'm not sure when. Oh, thank you for reminding me about Covert Nerd. I have audio files I have to send him. I'm not sure when his episode will be out, but I just recorded a Covert Nerd with Lee again, and we talked about our favorite NES games, because video games are fun.
Yeah.
Video games are fun. It's good to like have a nostalgia nerd out on Covert Nerd.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's my recent events. And that's it. I was trying to earlier. I was trying to think of some like horrible, depressing message to leave this episode on, like I did last week. Nah, it's
chicken
fine.
tights. It's all right. It's chicken tight.
Keep it right, chicken tights. Yeah.